I think we did it. We went live. Hey, everybody. It's Sarah here from Your Creative Junction, and we are live in the workshop space, and we are wrapping up Christmas in July week. So I've got a craft for us to do tonight, and we're going to do a draw. I'm sure it's a little bit confusing, but anyway, we're gonna get started with it. So, still using our new platform and still getting used to that. So, if you are joining me, make sure you say hi in the comments so that I can see you there and I can say hi back. It has been a super fun and busy summer so far. We are all things art camp related right now. So, still being able to do our evening classes and connect with more and more of you, which is amazing. We're super excited about that. So, for tonight's purposes, we are wrapping up Christmas in July. We had an extraordinary response to our Christmas in July. And we just want to thank each and every one of you who participated in one way, shape, or form, whether you participated in a class or you made a purchase from our Makers Market. We're really appreciative of all of you and your support of our what it is that we're doing here. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Vicki. Hey, Ashley. How are y'all? Make sure you say hi in the comments so that I can say hi back. So yes, wrapping up Christmas in July and finishing that off with a bang. We are going to do a Christmas theme craft. I know it seems a little far-fetched, but that's what we're doing tonight. So hopefully this kickstarts your holiday crafting spirit. I know as soon as August hits, I'm in the mood to craft for fall, and Christmas is not far behind. Hey, Mom. Hey, Aunt Dora. Hope you guys are doing well. So tonight we are going to use a scrap piece of 2x4. This one is pretty low in the supply area. I have everything in front of me, which is great. I think I'm prepared. I'll get back used to the live creations. I won't get used to the distractions out front. Just saying, there's dogs out there barking and people behaving interestingly. So we love Christmas crafts. Well, that's good. I'm glad you love Christmas crafts. So let me just run down the supplies. This one's pretty easy. You might have all of this stuff at home. This is just a scrap piece of 2x4. I'm going to guess about 8 inches. I did not measure it, but I certainly can measure it. I did give it a quick sand, and we're going to paint it tonight. We're going to faux stain it. Some fabric scraps from Mother Mary's fabric that she always passes down to me. I'm super grateful for that. So we've got some fabric scraps that we're going to turn into a bow. I have 2 different size wooden circles here tonight. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use, so we'll see as we go along. I have some of my Country Chic paint because, as always, it is my go-to paint for all things crafting. It's just incredibly easy to work with, and I'm actually going to use it as a faux stain in a couple of spots tonight, so you'll get to see that. I have some acrylic paint markers in case I need them. I have some snipping tools, and I scrounged the bin for the very last little bit of Christmas greenery that I could find. I have none left. That's it. And believe it or not, Halloween is out, but Christmas greenery is not. So you have another bag of scraps. Fabulous. We love it when you pass on the fabric scraps. I don't sew anymore, so I don't have any reason to have scraps, but they come in handy when you need to make a little embellishment. I also have some wired burlap ribbon, a few Christmas bells. I'm not sure which one we're going to land on. I just brought out a bunch of things, and some little Christmas embellishments, some glue, some scissors, and all of the things. But we are going to get started. If you're here because you tagged a friend today, you're going to have to wait till the very end. I am going to make you wait in suspense for that little draw. We will do that at the very, very end. and we'll figure out who gets to bring a friend to class for free. It was very last minute decision for me. So if you didn't get in on it, I promise you there will be other draws happening in the future. I think we have 9 people who tagged friends today who are going to try and win a free class for them and their friend. It is National Girlfriends Day. So the perfect thing to do with your friends is to craft, in my opinion. I'm just going to gently as I possibly can, drop you so you can see what I'm doing. I'm sorry. There we go. So I'm going to use my 2x4. Hopefully that's going to focus. And I'm going to also use, I've just put a little bit of paint on my paper here, and I'm going to use a baby wipe tonight to achieve a faux stain look. This is a really easy way if you are like, oh, dang, I really wish that I could see the wood grain, because that's the difference. When we paint with acrylic paint or mineral paint or chalk paint, whatever the case may be, you lose the wood grain. And sometimes you really want the wood grain. But so if you take some of that paint and use a baby wipe, sometimes a wet sponge will also work, and you rub it on, you get the look of stain without having to buy stain. And sometimes we want a stain look in a color that isn't necessarily available as a stain, if that makes any sense at all. As I'm going, make sure you drop your questions in the comments. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have as we go. I'm curious to know, though, if anybody has plans for this long weekend. We're headed into the August long weekend, which is always like my, it's always my indicator that back to school is coming, and summer goes by so fast. So I am going to cover all of my sides, and because I'm using the baby wipe in this method, this is going to dry super quick. Thanks, Ashley. Yeah, it is kind of cool. It's fun to be able to just use this technique on whatever wood piece you're using. Also breaks down some of those barriers I hear a lot. I'm not talented, I can't craft, and certainly anybody can use some paint and a baby wipe. It doesn't require any special skills at all. I will do my end grain as well. So the ends where I cut this piece of wood. And if your baby wipe starts to get super messy or starts to disintegrate, then just toss it aside and grab yourself a new one. I'm going to use the same technique for my round circle. Yeah, great question, Ashley. This definitely will be either a drop-in option here in the studio, or it will be a class. I haven't entirely decided what's, I'm trying to get the September through December calendars finished so that I don't have to think about it. What I am struggling with a little bit is that I think I have too many ideas and not enough dates. So with that in mind, some of these crafts that could be self-led might end up being drop-in options, but only available for a certain period of time or until we run out of supplies, that kind of thing, if we can't get it onto a class schedule. Because there are some of the things that I really want to do with you this holiday season that will require far more instruction than others. And keeping that in mind, we might have to make some choices as to what goes on the class calendar and what just becomes a drop-in option, which is equally as fun. The experience when you come to drop-in is just as fabulous as a class option. You're welcome to bring snacks. There's always music playing. As always, it's a super warm and welcoming environment. There are staff here who can help you, so you never have to worry about that. It's just a little bit more informal, and you can oftentimes make it work with your calendar, your schedule. So that's how quick and easy that was. I am going to just quickly do the ends just to get it done. And this is actually pretty near dry. The ends will soak up a lot more paint than the rest of the piece did, just because it's the end grain. Yeah, the drop-in options will be shown, Ashley. We are working towards revamping the website so that you will get to see what special drop-in options are available. The staples will always be there. So, you know, paint pouring and resin and polymer clay and signs, round signs, all that stuff. The things that are on the wall, they will always be here. But what's going to start happening is there'll be some special projects that are available just for the month. And all of those options will be available on the website. So you can click on a date and then you can select your project and book yourself a spot at the table. What's happening is that the space is getting much busier, which is fabulous. But we really don't want anyone to be disappointed. So we're encouraging you to do two things. One, book your space if you're able. I know you're not always able to. Sometimes it's very sort of just last minute, spur of the moment. But so book your space and book your project if at all possible, if you see what you want on the website, so that the materials can all be prepared ahead of time for you and there's no delay or disappointment once you get here to store. Yes, of course, Vicki. There's a few more people who are stepping up who are going to be able to help take over. It's not a matter of quite honestly, it's not a matter of people. It's a matter of space. We can only run one class at a time. So that is the challenge we're finding. There's just not simply enough days in the month to offer all of the things that I want to be able to offer. So I'm just going to take another baby wipe and clean off my fingers because I'm going to move to a different color. If you, the Country Chic paint dries super fast, also washes up really nice and easy. So not something that you have to wear gloves, but if you are somebody who wants to wear gloves, you are certainly welcome to do that anytime. Because as you can see, I've got it all under my nails and that might drive someone absolutely bonkers. So cleaned up and ready to go. I have to decide what size circle I want to use. Sorry, Ashley, I'm not sure what you mean for drop-in night. We're getting much better at being able to put specific drop-in times on the calendar so that you can see those. I think I wish I had something in between the two, but I don't. So I think I'm going to go with this one because I don't really want it to overhang, and this one overhangs. So we'll go with this one. Save that one. Oh, that we need to register. Yeah, absolutely. So I would always recommend that you register just to avoid disappointment, especially if there's kids involved. I would recommend that you pre-register for drop-in. It is not absolutely necessary though. You can certainly just drop in, you know, in that sense of the word, just drop in. That's not a problem. However, especially as we move into the holiday season and everyone is wanting to get their crafting on, you may show up here and there might not be space at a table. And I don't want anyone to be disappointed in that sense. So that's why I'm saying to pre-register if possible. So, oh, I lost my mom. All right. So I'm going to use the same technique on my little circle. No problem. I can talk in circles sometimes. So if ever you don't understand, please ask, especially if I'm on live and I'm right here, I can answer your questions. So I would love some comments in the, some feedback in the comments on potential projects that you would like to see as we move into the fall season. Has anybody got something they really, really want to try? I'd be happy to consider it, see if we can secure the supplies or an instructor. So I am not going to do the back because it's not going to be seen, but I am doing the edges of this little circle. By not doing the back, that also gives my glue a better chance of adhering, because when you're adhering painted surfaces to one another, sometimes the glue doesn't like to cooperate. So I'm just going to leave the back of this one blank. Hey, Debbie, I didn't even see you pop on here. A resin crafting. What kind of resin? UV, in molds, on wood. What kind of resin? We have done resin. We can do more resin. I know Vicki was talking to me about resin the other day. She'd love to teach another resin class. So let me know what kind of resin. Are we thinking about crafting for home decor purposes, or are we thinking about gifts, big blankets again? Yeah, we can definitely do big blankets in molds, Debbie. Okay, sure, we can do that. Bowls. Oh, bowls. Yeah. Now, the bowl that you see circulating in social media, that is a 2-part resin pour. That's not, and it is, I think we'd have to work on the timing for that one, because you actually have to pull it out of the mold early so that it's still pliable, so that you can get it to shape. Sorry about the focus. Holiday soaps. Yeah, fabulous. That's awesome. All right, so I'm going to let, excuse me, I'm going to let that dry for just a second. A few more minutes won't do it any harm. It'll actually help. And I'm going to start to put together a little bow. So keep the suggestions coming in the comments. I'm watching, but I'm just going to also start creating this bow. Now, these might be too long. I might have to shorten them. I just took the scraps that I'm sure were part of one of my mom's quilts, because this is really nice cotton. And I just snipped it and then pulled. I'm going to show you what I mean in a second, because I want those frayed edges. I am making a rag bow or a messy bow, oftentimes referred to as both, and I want the edges to fray. Oh, earrings. That would be fun. I mean, we do the jewelry with the kids all the time, but I never think to do it with the adults. We could do that. My scissors are all wrecked. Summer camp. I need new scissors. So in order to do this, I just I eyeball it. You could totally measure. I want most of my pieces to be similar in size. I just snip it, and then I just pull, literally. It will rip down, and then I just sort of straighten it out. I will trim off all of these edges and little threads later. I don't want it too messy, but that is how we just pull that fabric apart and we get those rough edges, frayed edges. I don't know what they're called. So I didn't have as much red fabric as I was hoping. And I'm working with what I have in the middle of July, basically. And so I think I'm going to pull just a little bit of this cardinal fabric, just a couple pieces in, and these will be my 2 primary bases. They're just slightly off. One's got a little bit more black in it than the other. So I'm going to try and do that. Ashley, are you thinking about like some of the earrings that you have bought here before? because that's actually polymer clay. And we certainly could do that as well. You just said fun holiday ones, and it just sparked my memory of some of the things that you've bought here in the past. And those are certainly polymer clay, not resin, but we could do both. There's lots of fun holiday options for both resin or polymer clay. Polymer clay is fun to work with as well. Again, we do it a lot with the kids, and we haven't done a ton of, we've done it as a drop-in for adults, but not as an actual class. But we totally could do that. That would be fun, actually. All right, I think that's all. I'm going to leave it at that with those. And I might layer in, we'll see how it behaves. Ooh. A couple of pieces of burlap. We'll see. As you know, I will start to put this together and then we will decide what it's going to look like. You weren't. Oh, okay, perfect. we can play with either of those options. Polymer clay, there's a lot more color, although you can add mica to your resin to get all sorts of color. But there's just some really fun patterns and things that you can get with polymer clay. All right, we're going to make this. So there is no rhyme nor reason to this. I am not a bow expert by any means, but I will show you how this comes together. Although I am recognizing that I am missing the twine. So hold that thought. I'll be right back. Is it ever really alive if I don't forget something and have to run across to the other side of the room? Or when we were in the basement, like out of the room completely and go find something? I'm actually going to cut my paper because I am fearful that I am going to put something in that paint. So that solves that problem. Oh, I'm making, I don't think I told you what I'm making. I'm making a holiday craft. It's going to be a surprise. Maybe y'all should guess in the comments. What am I making? I don't think I told you. Too funny. All right. So we are going to just start layering this up. And I'm actually going to get ahead of myself and put some twine underneath, so that it makes it easier to grab it all after it's been piled up. So we're gonna, all of our fabrics headed, like we want them all face up. I'm sure that goes without saying. I do like to sort of crisscross them a little bit, but I just gotta make sure that my twine stays in the center. You can run a pattern if you want. You don't have to. I'm not sure how much of that burlap I'm gonna use. But I'm just gonna layer this in and get it all messied up. When you start to tie it in a knot, it'll all sort of come together anyway. And I'm probably gonna have to shorten. I think it's gonna be too long for what I want, but we will see here as we go. I might do another one of these this way to watch what I'm doing. Talk, watch the comments, all of the things, all of the things. I would love to hear, so we heard resin, we heard big blankets. I'll go back to the comments so I don't forget anything. Is there anything else that you would love to see moving into this next season? Are we fall crafters? Are we Halloween crafters? Or are we jumping right to Christmas? I know there's some heavy opinion on that, so I would love to hear what you're hoping for. All right, I'm going to leave just those 2 pieces of burlap in there, and the rest of this is all headed in that direction, kind of across. I'm taking my twine And I'm going to tie this in a nice strong knot. That twine is going to disappear anyway, so I don't get too worried about it. And then I am going to shorten up. I'm going to move all of these around, and I'm going to shorten up these pieces. I don't want them this big. As you can see, it's going to end up being too long. So I'm just going to shorten everything up a little bit. For me, it's really difficult to gauge how long I want something to be until I actually start building it, putting it together. And then it starts to make more sense to me. Oh, my scissors are so dull. Don't cut paper with my fabric scissors. I think I have a sticker that says something along those lines. Pretty sure. Oh, hostess gift for holidays. Yeah, that's a great idea. For when you say both holidays, do you mean Thanksgiving and Christmas? We fly through so many. The scissors are dull, and I don't think that they're worth sharpening. It doesn't help that I'm impatient and want to cut through all 10 layers at once. I'm not worried about straight lines or jagged lines because this is a messy, messy bow. Hey, Anne-Marie, how are you? It is National Girlfriends Day, and I wish all of you an amazing day. Y'all know, maybe you don't know, I don't know. But part of the reason why we started this business was to have an opportunity to bring people together through creativity. We heard loud and clear from those who are watching us in Facebook Lives that you needed to connect with people. You'd either moved to the community or you'd been displaced and you didn't have those connections that you really wanted. And so we ran with it. So this is a perfect day for me to offer the sale on classes. If you haven't seen that, that will be live until midnight. But also to just really reflect and to chat with, all of you. It was just as impactful for me. It still is every single day. The connections that I get to make with all the people who come in here and sit and craft or just sit and chat. So just know that you're not the only ones who were, looking for an opportunity to connect with other people. So was I. So happy Girlfriends Day, Anne-Marie. We've made some incredible friendships over the last couple of years as we've been doing this and building this business. So thanks to all of you. So I'm just when it comes time to put this on my board, I'm gonna mess it up even more, but that is essentially it. It is a rag bow, it is a messy bow, it is the easiest bow to make because you're not worried about making loops or making sure that all those loops are the same size and going in the right direction. It is meant to be messy like that. So I'm just gonna pull some of these apart and then we will start to assemble our little craft. Maybe somebody can guess what it is that I'm making in the comments. I am also just going to take, this is the back side. This will be my front side. And I'm just going to take a piece of sandpaper that is well worn and probably not nearly rough enough, but I want to roughen up my edges. So I'm going to get that done just so that it looks a little more rustic. You certainly don't have to do that. It is completely up to you. I don't know how much of the top is going to be seen, so I'm just going to do a little bit up here. And you probably can't see that unless I bring it close. So just knocking off the paint that I just put on there. It is 100% completely dry now. So I can go ahead and do that. If you wanted to rough up the edges all the way around because you were going to put this on a buffet or a kitchen island and the backside was going to be seen, you might want to rough it up on the back as well. So we're going to start to assemble. I have one more thing to paint, and I might use a paint marker just to get me started. I am certainly stronger with a paint marker or a pencil than I am with a paintbrush to start any sort of shape. But I am going to come back with my paintbrush and fill these in, and I'll let you decide what it is that I'm making. If you don't have these in your crafters stash, these are fabulous. I have several different brands. Certainly the more expensive brand, the Posca ones, they certainly are, I would say they are a step above the Amazon brand, or the ones that I get on Amazon. But when I'm doing things like this, I certainly wouldn't notice. So yeah, I am totally making a face. Debbie has got it. Ding, ding, ding. We are making a reindeer. We're making a little holiday reindeer that will make a wonderful shelf sitter, big enough to be on a mantle or a counter, sit beside your tiered tray if you have one, flank some books maybe. It'll look really cute. I'm going to a bigger brush. I would love to know if bugged you enough about, future projects. I'll come up with them all on my own. I don't have a problem doing that. I just sometimes like to know what you guys want to make. I do have help. I most certainly have help making those decisions. It's not all me. So just know that I have craft fairies who very much help me in what it is that needs to happen here every single day. I do not do any of this alone. What all have you been crafting? What's been your favorite thing that you've crafted so far this summer? Or are you taking a little break and enjoying other things? Would love to hear from you. This is intended to be sort of rustic. So my eyes don't have to be perfect. Y'all know my or maybe you've never heard me say before, perfection doesn't exist. It's about the process and the connection that you make with the other people who are in the room while you're creating. So do not let the fact that you can't draw ovals perfectly in your mind stop you from trying to make a craft. Please just try. It's in the process. You finally finished your door hanger. I need to see it. Y'all need to post pictures and tag me so that I can see your projects. I'm going to let this dry a second, and I'm going to go to clipping some green. I might have to do a second coat on these black eyes because I want them to be nice and dark. The one from last year, I don't remember. You'll have to show me. But I'm glad you finished it. That's exciting. It's always fun to finish a project. It's a real sense of accomplishment. You should be proud of yourselves. You'll have so many things on your plate every day. So celebrate when you finish something for yourself. I'm going to turn on my hot glue gun. I also have some instant glue here, super glue, whatever we call this stuff. Probably should have brought gloves. Meh. If I stick myself to this project, it'll make for an interesting moment. Oh, I heard it spit. Oh, hate when that happens. This stuff is deadly. It works so well, especially if you're working with painted and stained surfaces, but it will stick your fingers together. While I'm going to do two other things. I'm going to clip some of this green so that it's going to look a little sparse. We're going to do the best we can with what we have today. because I don't have a ton of it left. And believe it or not, it's not available at Michael's yet. Give them a couple of weeks. Halloween is almost on sale, so Christmas has got to be coming. I've got those two pieces. I liked this pine. This is too chunky. If you don't already have, you need to get yourself some wire cutters to do this job. Just go and buy yourself a pair. It'll make your life a whole lot easier. I'm going to also take some of this cedar. I'm probably going to pull out some of these berries because there's a lot of berries, and I don't necessarily want all of these berries. I was hoping for more green and less red, but we're going to pick this apart. So much crafting. That's awesome, Vicki. What's been your favorite thing so far this summer? I've seen you've done a bunch of crochet and a bunch of painting. If you don't know, and you're watching, Vicki in the comments taught a watercolor class here this month, and it was super fun. So if you are interested in learning how to watercolor, you'll have to watch for the next class. It'll be in September, where you can come and learn how to work with watercolor. All right, I'm picking off some of these styrofoam berries. Thankfully, they just peel right off. They're usually all over the floor. And they also have tons of sparkle on them, so I'm probably just going to get rid of most of them. You saw the photos. Outdoor solar chandelier. Ooh, that sounds fun. Yeah, the photos were great. I did not participate in that class. It is one of the things that I don't have a whole ton of skill, but let me tell you, the people who were in the room, they were really, many of them were just painting for the first time with watercolor, and they did fabulous. Homemade stockings. Homemade stockings. I don't know. I'm not, only if we can make them out of wood. We could do fabric, but sewing is hard. Sewing is hard in this space. So we would have to find a solution to, crocheted maybe, or hand knit. Ooh, there's an idea. Chunky hand knit stockings. Let's see what we can find. I'm peeling off all of these berries. Bear with me because they're bugging me. All right. One last thing to do is with this wired burlap ribbon. If you have never seen this before, it has a very stiff wire. No sew options. Yeah, for sure. Definitely need to find some no sew options. I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to need. These are going to mimic the antlers. I don't want to cut it too short. It's probably too long. I will end up cutting that. I don't know what's all over my hand there. Cool. That's fun. All right. So I'm going to take this wire, and you could wrap it around a pencil. You can wrap it around your fingers. You could wrap it around a paintbrush, whatever you want to do. I've just wrapped it. Sorry, I forgot where my camera was. I wrapped it around my fingers, and then I just sort of stretch it out a little bit so that it still has this windiness to it, but it's not quite as tight as it was. I think I'm probably going to trim this down because it's a little bit too long. We shall see. Yeah. So we'll get this. Actually, I might just cut it right there. Yeah, curl them with a pencil is a lot easier. I just don't have one here. Definitely. You're going to want to leave an end though long because you're going to set that in with some hot glue. Also staples. So I'm going to have to run back over to the other side of the room again, only because hot glue, although many feel that it is their savior when it comes to crafting, it's actually a bit of a pain. Hot glue. It doesn't stick well. I'm going to burn myself 100%. You can guarantee it. And so, oh, I like that. I like that better. I'm going to do the other one again because it looks a lot cuter when I wrap it around the marker. Normally I would have a pencil here, but actually the marker's thicker, so it's giving me a wider little curly Q there. Thanks. I hope everybody's doing well. So just stretch that out. So these guys are going to go here in a second. I'm going to lay this all out first, and then we will do the, we will adhere the things, probably going in there, and then with a little bit of cedar as well. I'm going to drag this down a bit so you can see what I'm doing. And then this guy is going to go right on top. So I'm just going to go grab my stapler so we can put this all together. It is so quiet in here. It's been quiet all day as Camp spent the day at the park. So it's been nice and quiet. All right, I'm going to start with some hot glue, and then I will add some staples as well, only because I don't trust the hot glue to do what I need it to do. Nope, I am not using, I totally use my wireless glue guns 100% all the time. I think we have 4 of them now, and they're perfect for here because I don't have power in all spaces around the room, so the wireless ones are pretty helpful. So just a little bit of glue. What am I excited about, or what are folks in the comments excited about? I will tell you, I will go first. I am excited about several things. Last night's, you have to let me show you. Hey, Brandy, how are you? Thanks. This is kind of fun. Last night's candle and pressed flower class, amazing. I haven't posted the pictures, but I am going to, I will, if y'all want to hang around for a minute, I will show you what they look like, really. And we're going to be out of staples. Not today. I'm also very excited about the 3D barn quilts. I don't know if you've seen that picture or not, but that class is going to be amazing. So I'm super excited about that one. Part of the reason why I love my stapler is because then I don't burn myself having to hold these stems in this glue. It's annoying. I hate it. And my glue gun is incredibly hot and you get burnt like crazy. All right, stick that. I am gonna have to go get more staples. Let's see. We've got this guy here. And in this instance, whoop, glue gun is totally in the way. I wish you were closer too. How fun would that be? Although you were pretty close there not too long ago. That was exciting. All right, I'm going to cut these strings. Get rid of the extra on here. While that glue is still a little wet, I'm going to press that in. So it's very much a layered look here. Yeah, I totally could if I had a squeegee nearby. I was using this stem that is very much done. A popsicle stick would work. Yeah. Oh, such a sad reason to be down. Not fun at all. So I'm actually going to lean into this burlap that I put on the bottom layer, and I'm going to just tap it into that glue so that it covers up the stems of my greenery. It also is going to force it down this way just a little bit so that my bow looks a little bit more spread out. I'm going to do that on both sides just because I want something in that glue that will hold everything down. I will come back after the live is done and put in a few more staples underneath so that it is very, very secure. I'm going to just find the center because I have some bells. Trying to decide. I have one that's like gone rusty and one that is very, very silver. I don't love the red one. I think I'm going with the rusty one. And I'm just going to put that in the center. It's not going to jingle like a bell. It's just for looks. And it will cover up my little string that was in there. That's making that metal very, very hot. Very hot. So we'll leave that put there like now. The last thing I'm going to do is my nose. And then I'm just going to do a few little embellishments. Sorry, not embellishments, highlighting with my white and my black acrylic markers. So a little bit of glue. It's soaking right in, so I put probably more than necessary. Place that on. A little bit of firm pressure for 10 seconds or so. And that will hold my nose in place. I'm not a fan of hot glue. When you're putting two wood pieces together, hot glue will actually give you a raised, like it'll raise the two wood pieces apart from one another. Oh, this one's going to want more. It's soaking right in. I would actually prefer to put a few staples or brad nails right through this so that, yeah, I know it's going to stay put rather than use hot glue. Yeah, for sure. So these are all fabric scraps, Debbie, that my mom has given to me. She's a quilter and lives just outside of London, Ontario. And so she passes these little scraps along. She might know where she found the cardinal, but I just put a little bit of the cardinal in there. More so because I think that it was elevating my reds and I wanted some white and I didn't have any. So I've got a red with a little bit of black. I've got kind of a washed red, and then I've got that cardinal, which has got red in it, but it also has a little bit of cream. And then I also layered in a couple pieces of this burlap ribbon, just so that there's a little bit of contrast and it gives it a little bit more dimension on that bow. And it is very raggy, and that was the intended look. Now, if you were making this project for yourself and you're like, yeah, don't love that raggy look, you could do a regular bow. There's 100 different things you could do on the top here to personalize it to what you wanted it to be. This is not going to stay for me tonight. I'm gonna have to pull out the brad nailer to finish that and get that nose stuck on there. It doesn't want to stay. It's soaking into this piece right now. So I'm just going to leave it as it is for now. I'm going to finish up with some of my black and just give my my little reindeer a bit of a mouth here down. And I'm also going to give him a couple of eyebrows so he looks a little bit more animated. Do that up here. Remember with your paint markers that they're not drying out. You just need more paint to come down to the tip. So push them in and hold, and that brings the paint into the barrel and the tip. I hear that a lot, both adults and kids who say, oh, this one's dried out, I'm going to throw it out. And it's not that at all. It's that the paint has to come out of the barrel and down into the tip. So I am going to take my white, which hopefully is white. The downside to white markers is that they pick up the color of whatever it is you're coloring on. So I just wanted some eyes so it looks less flat. And so there you have it. I'm just going to hold that nose so that it doesn't go anywhere because I'm fearful that it is going to fall off. I'm going to put a brad in it. Look at that. How adorable is this? So yeah, I'm going to say about 8 inches tall. A little bit of greenery, a little bit of scrap fabric, a scrap piece of 2x4, and you've got yourself a cute little Christmas craft that could go on a number of different things. Thank you. It is adorable. It is certainly an easy one to do, not very difficult. Beginner friendly, we'll say. Thanks. Most likely to make an appearance in the fall calendar, late fall. If not on the class schedule, then definitely in the drop-in schedule. Would make a great hostess gift. Yeah, for sure. I'm just going to lift you up a little bit so you're not staring at me. There we go. So just in case you want a better look in better lighting, I left the front lights off, so I only have the back lights on. Because if I have the front lights on, and even though the sign says closed, someone will invariably come to the door. So that is stinking cute. I love it. Love. Not difficult, not costly. And so you could certainly put together a little school of these. These could be great teacher gifts, bus driver, neighbor down the street who just needs a pick-me-up. This is not an expensive adventure for sure. And certainly whoever receives this from you will get a big smile on their face. So something for you to look forward to as we move out of summer and into into fall. I'm going to pull up the Wheel of Names. Oh, I want to show you what we made last night. I'm gonna make you wait 1 more minute. This was a super fun class. It was also a great opportunity to chat with a friend that you came with or make a new one across the table, because this was not difficult, but the results are outstanding. I'm just going to take the lid off so that you can see without the person's name that made them. So we made these pressed flower on these mason jars. And then we poured candles. Ooh, that's my favorite, basil and brush pear. So I taught the pressed flower part first, and then I taught how to make the candles. These are so pretty. And the white wax in behind, and this is smooth. So super fun. And we are going to try this again in the fall with some fall colors. And then I'm going to see if I can figure out a way to make it also Christmassy, because I love this. They are so pretty. And once this starts to burn, because you can burn this, once it starts to burn, it's going to be gorgeous. So pretty. Anyway, I wanted to show you that. They're just in little mason jars, 8-ounce jars, 8-ounce candles. We used cedar wood wicks, and they are super duper cute. And I wrecked the name tag on that one. Figures. Thanks, Brandy. They are super fun. All right. The last thing on the agenda tonight is our draw. So I will do that in just a second. I pulled all these names off the post, both on Facebook and on Instagram, right at 6:30. So if you happen to comment after 6:30, I'm sorry, you're not on this list. Was clear in the post that it had to be before 6:30. So, however, the coupon code for classes for you and a friend will remain active until midnight tonight. So you can go ahead and look at the August calendar and invite a friend to a class and take some time for yourself and to connect with your friends, because we all know how important it is. There are a variety of different classes. All of them are beginner friendly. And this applies to the kids as well. So Slime Club, the Little Miss Beads is doing silicone bead pens and tags. Oh my gosh, my brain is mush. Backpack tags. Oh my goodness. So there's lots of options for everybody to get involved and be creative this month. But this little draw that I will do, I will hold my phone up because I haven't figured out how to share my screen yet, is for a free class for you and a friend. So everybody who commented, tagged, liked, shared, all of those things is on this list. I have shuffled the names, and we're going to spin and see who wins. I love the Crackle Wicks too, Debbie. They're my favorite. Is it going to focus on my head? Who is that? Amanda. So fun. I'm going to hold that there for a second so that at some point somebody can screenshot it. Amanda, I will be in touch. I don't believe you're watching live, but perhaps you'll catch the replay later. I will be in touch and let you know how you can register yourself and a friend to come to class for free in the month of August. So congratulations to you, and I can't wait to see you at the craft table. Thanks so much, everyone, for your continued support of what it is that we're doing here. I can feel that y'all are really just as invested in this as I am, and that means a lot to me. So thank you for taking the time to participate in classes, to invite your friends, to share in social media, and to be cheerleaders all around for us. I love what I get to do each and every day, and I'm sure that shows, but meeting all of you is just the icing on the cake. So thank you again. Happy National Girlfriends Day. And if you haven't already, reach out to your friends and say hi. Yeah, thanks so much for being here. I will be live again, I believe, in 2 weeks. And I am going to be previewing craft for an upcoming class. So you're not going to want to miss that one. So don't forget to comment if you're watching the replay. Make sure you hit #replay, and I will be back to answer all of your questions in the replay as well. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. I appreciate you. Take care and stay crafty. Bye, everybody.